Hello, Hui investors. We're going to take you to the Huntsville, Alabama projects. This is taken July 2020. This is the first project we're visiting here, Brookridge. Recently acquired 171 units. It's a Class B property. Garden style apartment, 2 stories. $8.1 million purchase price. Average rents around here is just below $500, and market out here is just below $700 per unit. Roof type asphalt. And the only amenities here is the one pool, which you see. Now the debt on this deal was pretty amazing, 3.23%, a 15-year term on this one. Pretty crazy. A 30-year amortization. This property is pretty much full. We pulled up the latest statistics on all these properties, and here they are. Brookridge there on the bottom. It actually hit 100%, so we couldn't really get into any units to show you guys during this trip. Collection $71,000 over the 170 units. But we are going to be able to show you a few units. Next one, we're going to be walking a lot of units in the newly acquired Harbor Village. That one's at 98%, and then making our way to a few of the other older Class C deals that we've done in the past, and then do a flyover of Imperial Gardens too. And this is one last swing around Brookridge as we move on over to Harbor Village. This is the 100-unit apartment complex that we got for an absolute steal, I think. We currently have this at 98%. It dances between 98 and 100% all the time.
This is Harbor Village. We just recently acquired this one as the owners, and still working our way through the transition process. So we've turned 6 units so far, and we're already seeing $200 premiums across the board, which is a bit more than what we had originally projected. I think we projected about 125 to 150, and we knew the property was under market. We knew that there was a chance that 200 to 250 could be within range. We just weren't sure if we would get it this quickly. So, 6 units is not hardly a business plan, but we are definitely tracking well. We've got a good comparable in Brookridge. We know where Brookridge rents are, so we even have more room at Brookridge, so we know that if we can just get this property to the same level as Brookridge, that we would be set up well.
So this is a Class B property. probably a class B plus area, maybe better. It's right on the water out there. The only problem with this one is it's only 100 units.
Yeah.
Now this is Don, our handyman on the site. We inherit him from the previous property management company.
This one's good enough that our appliances and all, we're just leaving it just like it is. You know, we took out the ugly peachy orange, and one was shrimp pink and another was salmon orange. I thought she must have been hungry when she started painting on the walls.
So we're gonna take you first to a unit that was down and that's currently in progress, rehabbing it up. It's one of Don's projects that he's been working on. It's a little bit messy, but you can kind of see the direction it's heading. Yeah, as Kyle mentioned before in the video, it's pretty phenomenal how we're getting these pretty easily $200 a month rent bumps on these first 6 units that we're sort of testing the market.
Had I known y'all was coming, I could pick up
No,
some
this
of
is great.
Yeah, we want it to be like that.
You know, white. Because everything we do here in the past has just been antique white. The ceilings, the walls, the trim. I mean, I could come and blow the whole thing. You know, in 45 minutes I could paint this whole apartment.
Yeah.
But because y'all want it to be nicer, we want it to be nicer.
Yeah.
And it's bringing the money that it should be bringing.
Yeah. Something in the market. Yeah.
Then I'm willing to put the time. The one that we read that totally redid upstairs where she moved out of here to that one. Now the same amount of carpet is up there, but we use that vinyl plank.
Yeah.
That is it's hard to explain what color that carpet is. I've actually got a piece of it up there that has grays and browns in it.
Okay.
And then we went with a darker gray laminate or the vinyl plank.
Gotcha.
And it looked great. If she didn't work at night and sleep during the daytime, she said anytime we want to come and see it, you know, if y'all want it. But at this time of the day, I need to. I'm sure
Yeah.
she.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little skeptic before, but it looks like, you know, Don and company has jumped on board and really bought into improving the property and bumping the rents up. Sometimes you worry about previous property management being buddy-buddy with the old tenants. You know, guys like Don and the property management company and the rest of the staff, they will roll up to our property manager who rolls up to us. So they're really the direct line in the chain of command. But you know, we kind of like to get their input too and know what's really going on. Those are washer dryer hookups. So a lot of them don't have it initially. But this unit is pretty much ready to go. And just running you through a little bit of the math, you know, we increased the rents by $200 on 6 units. And if you multiply that by 12, we just created $14,400 of additional NOI per year. Now, if I take that number and I divide it by a cap rate of, say, 6%, we essentially created almost $250,000 of value just by rehabbing these 6 units and leasing it up. So that's the power of commercial real estate. You know, it's all dictated on the net operating income divided by the cap rates. That's your value. And the idea is just rinse, wash, repeat, and keep doing this for the rest of the 100 units. I think what I like about this business plan is, as you can see, you know, it's not rocket science, and a lot of this is just, you know, fixing up the units, making it a little bit nicer, putting in the capital into the right places, like the flooring and the appliances, repainting, improving some exterior improvements, and you know, that's how we're going to get the rent bumps and drive that force appreciation. Business plan here is to sell in 6 years or refinance well before that, and possibly hold on for the long term. And these properties are a little bit older, but they still have a lot of, you know, decades of good life in it. So, you know, it could line up for a longer term hold. So depending what the market does, and we kind of have the we sit in the driver's seat here, and we can kind of dictate on what we want to do with this property based on what happens around us and react the right way. In another rehab unit, pretty much ready to go. I think this one, the new tenants were going to move in like the next day on this one. Again, this is a B-class property.
We'll strip light out and put a round of LED light in there. They're $60 at Home Depot, and I'm doing some of that. In fact, I'm not buying any more shop lights, and that's exactly what that is. The shop light, I'm not buying any more of those. When they go out, I'm buying the round, and that does what it kind of helps modernize.
Absolutely.
These little lights here are $10 a piece. You buy them 2 in a pack, you know, all day, and so it's they're good, but. We are mindful of cost, but at the same time, there's some things you just can't say. There's plywood, and then you have a pouring, what it's called lightweight concrete, and it has cracks in it.
Yeah.
And here, that looks good, but you don't ever. The first thing I'll do is pull all the carpet and pad up to see what the condition of the concrete is, and then any soft spots, or real bad spots, then we regrout that whole area. But when they pull that, we may be going to leave that vinyl that's there, that old vinyl, and put the plank over top of it.
Just put it on top.
I talked to the carpet guy.
Just because that's the smooth surface we need.
Right.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to get into all that and moving around, that's one layer, and just enough time of the day to do a good job on the cabinets. Now, if you find somebody that's really good at it, real fast at it, and let them go around and do when I need it.
Did you spray this one though?
No, those are 3 buildings are the only ones that have these dark ones.
Gotcha.
And the other ones have the cream color.
That's right.
And but we talked about actually painting those in the workout shop. Do it and put it back together, and that needs to be somebody who got time to do it and make it look right. Ideally, you would have someone that would be spraying them.
It can go quick, but it does need. It probably.
One thing that if you get too big a hurry on some things, it really shows up bad.
Well,
and this would be one of them.
The good thing is we've got some help close by, the guys at Brookridge, and everything else. So I leave that to
And
Chris.
so what Kyle was mentioning over to Don was that we have other resources to pull from Brookridge, Imperial Gardens, Silverstone, the other 600 or so units to help him out in case he gets overwhelmed.
I'm hoping I'm retired before I have to replace a piece of this, because I'm going to kill somebody, and I know I'll go to jail over it because they ruined this great flooring.
So I guess the story is Don and the wife, he does the handyman work and she works in the office. They kind of are a co-working couple, married couple, and the thought was that they were going to retire once we bought the property, but they decided to stay on board. So it's nice to see that employees have autonomy, and they like the community, and they see the money that we're putting in here improving the project. So here you can see in relation to the river there, that it's going to only improve in the future. Okay, moving on to Imperial Gardens, the last of that previous 3-pack that we picked up. 136 units. Purchased for about $6 million. Average rents here is above a little over 500, and target rents are mid 700s. Now this is in the northern central part of Huntsville, probably one of the better areas compared to the other Decatur projects that we took a look at previously. Occupancy here is a little lower, it's in the 80s, but it's kind of what makes the returns pop. And it's a little bit of a hairier project, at least compared to the stabilized projects that we normally do. And now we're going to check out some of the older projects, Class C GardenPlace Apartments.
This is GardenPlace. This is 42 units. We acquired this at the end of 2018 as a part of a 2-property package, another 49 unit that will go to Wedgwood, same seller. And what we currently have is 11 down units right here. We had a tree fall. That's why you have insurance, of course. Nobody was hurt, thankfully. Nobody was hurt. So, but they were all occupied. So we found, we allowed them to break their lease. And
We had to pay like hotel
Yeah.
for them,
we did for a little bit until they found a new place.
and then the lost rents.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this event happened in October and we're still dealing with it. The nature of dealing with insurance, and then we have a lender involved. I mean, just between the insurance company and our lender, we lost like 5 months for them to figure that out, and it was just a debacle. So, but once construction started, it's been a steady flow. And thankfully we have lost rents, coverage, and everything else, which means we get money for as long as the units are down. So we're somewhat protected. It's not the full amount, but it's enough to soften the blow. This property stays pretty full. Aside from the down units, we stay very full. I mean, this is just it's a good in and out. It's the first property when you come in off the main road, Drake. And like the further back you get around there, it's not as a great area. So this is kind of like we draw attention for that reason too. But yeah, mix of half ones, half twos. We've renovated about half of the units. Of course, these will all be fully renovated, so we'll charge the premium rent on this one as well.
Originally it was like in the 400s, and then trying to get some of these up to 600 is kind of the goal. These are purchased for about $35,000. So you're pretty close to 2% rent to value ratio getting everything.
But it's been about half the units that have been renovated. And we just come back with like new flooring, of course new paint, just a fixture package to make it all, like the brush nib will make it all nice. and then paint cabinets and sometimes resurface the countertops. We don't do that on this property, but we do on some of the others where we resurface. And it kind of gives it a granite feel. You know, you're not going to come in and put granite in a B and C class type property, but you can do things in a cheap way. You know, it costs $150 to $200 to do that, and it gives it a nice clean finish. We might be able to see some units at Silverstone.
And as always, we try and showed you the older units, the ones that need work. And this is currently in progress, going to be turned over soon. And this is when you come on a tour with us, you really see the magic of, you know, you walk through this. This isn't actually that bad, but you can see the magic happens, and we'll take you to the upgraded unit in a bit.
Here, collections have been pretty on par. We didn't have much of a dip at all. So really across our entire portfolio, collections have been fairly strong. In fact, even a couple of the properties we had collected most rents we've ever collected in a single month on those properties. So yeah, I mean, that's a big part of why we like multifamily instead of retail, commercial retail. Because I know a lot of people are struggling in that space right now.
There's no office on this property, so usually you like to have a person on site.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is small enough that you can't have that person, but we kind of rob resources. We'll go to Silverstone, we'll go to Wedgwood, so they kind of share resources there. But these are like kind of the growing pains with Class C and smaller properties. This is why we try and do B class or better. Alright, we're taking you over to the upgraded unit. A little bit of a dramatic music change, and here we are, night and day. Now you gotta remember that we picked these things up for a little less than 30 grand originally. I think today we could easily get $35,000, so we're hitting the 2% rent to value ratios on these things. Originally these units were in the mid 400s, and now we're peaking over the 500, 550 and above range on these guys. Again, these are Class C properties here, definitely Class C area and Class C finishes. Treehaven was, the 70 units was picked up for about $1.89 million, so $27,000 a unit. This is a 1984 property also. All one bedrooms here at Treehaven. It's kind of tucked away at a dead end, which is kind of a good thing. It's kind of a nice cozy feeling. It's just one little horseshoe. And that kind of wraps up the tour that we had some folks join us in Huntsville for the day. If you guys want to come out with us, we'll try and do these things at least once a year. And we also had a chance to check out the feature site of the Chase Creek Apartments. If you guys want more information on that, let me know. And on these tours, you know, it's a good time to meet some other folks, and then we go out to dinner, hang out a little bit, and walk some properties. Really the best way of learning this. And you know, with the pandemic and everything, the Trash Pandas, who play at this brand new Toyota Field baseball minor league stadium, is not playing right now, but maybe we'll take everybody next time.